Yeah, that's right, we are back out on the road, and today I'm pretty excited because I'm taking my first sneaky peek at the newly refurbished Westmoor skate park. Now, back in the day, this consisted of metal ramps on a tarmac base, and my favourite part was the metal mini ramp. It was just the right proportions and the right speed to try and learn a few mini ramp tricks, and I recorded my Learn to Pop Rock video on that very ramp. It was a real firm favourite with the locals, so much so that there were rumours they were going to keep that metal mini ramp. But I think the second law of thermodynamics always wins out, so it's been replaced with a concrete mini ramp that was inspired by the original. I can't wait to see what they've done with the park. The plans I've looked at online look pretty nice, but I don't think we'll be able to skate it today because it looks a little bit wet. Why is it so wet? But who knows what's going to go on. My son JJ is here and he is currently running around having a lovely old time. So let's take a look round the relatively newly done Westmoor skate park. Well, there's the new mini ramp, looking splendid. It's got the extension the same as the last one, and they've included a bowl corner, which is a nice touch. There's also a little micro section which is a little bit smaller than the old ramp. It looks like there's a sort of ledge on top of a flat bank. Looks a lot of fun. Oh, a mini spine, not half. There's also a pump bump should you not wish to get entangled with said spine. There's a quite nice looking sort of grind affair here. I reckon that'd be fun. Going over to this side of the skate park, there's a gap and also a not gap, so you can practice going over the top, and a little bit of a wonky looking quarter pipe at the end. Coming over, there's a hubber, the obligatory Euro gap, and your choice of flat bank or quarter pipe to turn around if you're of a street persuasion. I like the look of this sort of quarter pipe flat bank with coping on top. I also like the inclusion of some bricks. They always feel and sound rather nice. Couple of ledges stroke manual pads, and then coming up there's a pyramid flat bank, and then over the top into that smaller mini ramp section. And look at that mini ramp, that looks splendid. Obviously this is wet as an otter's pocket. I'm not entirely sure it's going to dry because the sun has gone down on me. It's pretty late in the day, but I am not taking no for an answer. I'm going to go and get the squeegee and my towel because I'm itching to give this mini ramp a little bit of a spin. Okay, it's not really drying out. If anything, it's getting wetter. I've popped my towel there to try and stop the water coming down onto the ramp. I'm going to try for a few things that are just straight forwards and backwards. I'm not going to attempt anything with my bad hamstring that involves any form of slidage, because that slidage could get out of control. Okay, it's too wet to get any sort of meaningful running. However, I did get a bit of a feel of it and it's really fun to skate. I love this coping, it sticks out just enough. Transition is tight enough to get speed without having to do too much work. I reckon on a dry day, I could spend a good few hours on this ramp. God, crikey. I think that's quite enough of that. I'm going to call it a day before I do myself a mischief and it all gets a bit more emotional. Came a cropper a couple of times. It's just a little bit too damp to skate at the moment. Also, a bit of an eerie mist has descended. It looks really nice, but I'm taking it as an omen to call it a day. That little 2-foot strip though has given me enough flavour of this mini ramp, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. Can't really make any value decisions on the quality of the mini ramp from just skating a 2-foot section that is damp. However, I did feel it was a good exercise in just making me go straight and also keeping me light on my feet, just dabbing on that coping and trying not to put any excess pivoting in for fear of it all going a little bit wrong. I did feel that the transition was a little bit quirky on one side, but the coping was set just how I like it, nice and proud, and it's that slightly narrower diameter stuff that you can really lock into. Having a look around this park, I think one of the big plus points is it's really manageable in terms of size. I'm looking at a few of these obstacles and I'm getting quite excited about things that I could try. Starting with this mini spine, I think I'd like to try a little rock over the top, perhaps some sort of airing up, landing in a tail on the other side. I've also been working on my flat bank to a ledge. The one at Mount Hawk is a little flat bank to a curb, so I've been trying some very basic stalls on that. So I reckon that the one here at West Moors would represent a bit of a step up from that. I also like the look of this little quarter pipe grind feature in the middle. There's one very similar at the skate park over in Wimborne, and I enjoyed working on a little bit of a board slide to fakie on that bad boy. So I reckon this one would represent a similar challenge. The other feature that really got my juices flowing is this large, long, flat bank with the coping on top, and I reckon that is prime for a rather long 50-50 grind. I like that there's ledges placed below that coping, adds a little bit of extra jeopardy. I took on a similar feature at Kings Park and really enjoyed the challenge of trying to 50-50 over that extra jeopardy. I can't wait to get back here and skate this park when it's dry, especially the mini ramp. Check out the extra features such as the extension and also that little micro ramp bit. Maybe do a launch out over the top into the flat bank. Oh my gosh. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit subscribe. I make new videos every week. You can also follow me on Instagram at John Bishop Skate. As ever, my name's been John Bishop and I'm a middle-aged guy tinkering with a skateboard when it's probably just a bit too wet.